Hello everyone, this is a new edition of my gameplay series. It is Darro's Gaming Day, and with Ugly Mug included edition now because I'm just testing things out here. So this is pretty much going to be a sort of test episode, I guess, the the gameplay and my face on the thing at the same time. So hopefully this turns out alright. Now if it doesn't, I'll probably just go back to the standard audio voiceover over gameplay though. I just want to try things new though. I know a lot of people do it though, but I just want to get them sort of different though. So anyway, what is the game that I am playing today? You can probably already see the name of the game there. This is a game that's gotten quite a lot of great critic reviews. So it's pretty much been kind of critically acclaimed, critically praised throughout. A lot of the critic outlets not there, and a lot of people have played it as well, from what I know as well. A lot of gamers, and they personally loved it. But there's other people who don't think as much. Though think it's not a game, it's boring, it's crap, what. It's done by the Fulbright company, who I believe if they read like a few of them, or like just a few of them, or one of them, or whatever, worked on just a very small team of developers who worked on the sort of the DLC for Bioshock 2 Minerva's Den, which I have not played, but I've always heard good things about. This has gone home. This was released a few months ago though, and I only got it there last week when it was on half price on Steam, and I played it there on Sunday morning, so I did, and I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved this game though. I'm just gonna get on it. I already have a Zoom thing here, but I'm just gonna start a new game now, just to show you. I'm not gonna show you too much of this game now, because I think the enjoyment of this game is actually finding out things for yourself. So why are we going to play maybe 20-30 minutes or so, and then basically if you want to get it, go get it though. It's not on sale anymore though. It was the midweek sale on Steam last week. I picked it up though because I was always curious in getting it though, but heck, actually playing it though, I kind of would have probably played the full price anyway. But let's get going here. Yes, I'll just show you. As you can see, I'm going to be playing with the controller here. That's nice looking Afterglow controller, if you can see there. And I'm just going to start here. As you can see, you can play with the mouse and keyboard as well, but I'm using a controller. Just, easier for me, I guess. What is that? For people who probably were born, probably in the 2000s, wouldn't have a pie idea what the hell that is. It's a cassette tape. It's a thing that was used in the 80s and like 90s as well, before CDs. I'll just be quiet for a moment.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really, seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
Okay, like this is the thing. This is the sort of premise of the game now. Before I get going, it's called Gone Home, and you play as a girl called Caitlin Greenbrier, and this is set in the mid-90s. You can see June 7th, 1995, 1:15 a.m. You play as Caitlin, or Kate Greenbrier though, and you're just coming home from a year. But I can barely hear myself speak. You come home after a year of pretty much trekking around Europe, and then you come around and you just see that, okay, seems spooky though. There seems to be no one about here whatsoever. What's the deal? As you can see, there's pretty much it's a first person, pretty much. It's a first person game, of course. You play as Green Grey, and you pretty much come around to say that you're not okay. No one seems to be home here. It seems kind of spooky, I guess so. And then you just walk around, you see like your bag, you can zoom in, see your detail. that's probably one of the things I really like about this game, though. It's kind of the attention to detail of just, you know, sort of really mundane things. If you play for yourself, then you would know. And you can see, walk around here. Okay, I want to open the door. I want to get in. Okay, I can't get in. Why? Because it's locked. And you see a little note here. It says, Katie, I'm sorry I can't be there to see you, but it's impossible. Please, please don't go digging around trying to find where I am. I don't want anyone, with Mom and Dad crossed out, to know. We'll see each other again someday. Don't be worried. I love you, Sam. So you're wondering, who's Sam? Like, what does she have to do about this here? But Sam, you find out in the bit here that she is Katie's younger sister. And you'd be wondering, what the hell's happened here? What's the deal here? She's not here either. She's away. Okay, and the thing is, what the hell's happened? So anyway, how do you get in here? Basically, you have to find out. You can wander around here. You can pick up certain things, like, you know, certain amount of things, and you just like look around, and you say, hey, it's a cop. And you can put it back exactly where he's at, or you can just, you know, throw it right there. Kind of interactive. And open the door here. You can pretty much open a lot of things. Hey, there's a lot of things. Hey, it's a Christmas duck. You can put it back, or I can just put it down. And hey, there's the key to the front door, so I can get through then, and unlock the door. Hello, I'm in now. I know it's so dark all of a sudden, but the lights came on there, flashing, kind of spooky. So it is. And you know, grab tissue box. You can do a lot of things. But anyway, this is the story. Like the Sam, you just like, what the hell's happened to Sam though? And throughout the course of the game, you kind of I'll basically show you here now. This is one of the things here. Open folder, read invoice, and this is the invoice for moving all the stuff into this sort of house, because they moved in last. It says date August 1st, 94. They moved just after Caitlin left for her round trip to Europe, and you can see all the different stuff there. Like it's $2,750, and then this
Dear
happens.
Katie, so much has changed. Even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm in a new school. And my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real. But I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal. Just like I was talking to you.
And that is this is kind of what the premise is of the story here as well, because there's like once you go travel around the house, so looking at these different objects, so and there's certain objects that you look at that trigger these journal entries that are done by Sam, and they are done from there's various different journal entries, so and they are go throughout the year from the August, though, as you can see here. The first one is August 20th, 1984. And they span the pretty much the entire period up until sort of shortly before Caitlin returns. But I'm not going to basically say what the story is though. But you find out what it is though throughout the game, and what's like how Sam did, and sort of what the reasons why, pretty much the reason why she's supposedly, where the hell is she? What's happened to her though? You pretty much find out what's happened exactly. But I'm not going to spoil anything here now. But it's a very, I just found it a very kind of lovely journey though, because you do find out through these you know, journals, and also through other little objects around the house as well, because not just the journals you find, like, you know, certain objects trigger journals. There's a lot of notes, and you know, a lot of details and notes, and like things as well from the father's side. Like you see sort of stuff, just not from just Sam's you know, life, but from like the father Terrence and the mother as well, Janice. You see things from around the house that belong to them, and you sort of see their story, like what's with them, what happened with them over the last year as well, rather than like just Sam now, the younger sister. And I think the writing this is just fantastic done, like the attention to detail in all of like, the objects, especially like the notes you see and things like that. And also sometimes you see, I'll just go over here now, like you can turn the lamp on. It's pretty much, you can turn anything as well, Read note. He says, Sam, Daniel from the old neighborhood called. He wants to come see the new house. Call him back. And Sam replies, Mom, Daniel is a total weirdo. The only reason I ever hung out with him in the first place is he had a Nintendo when we were little. So yeah, that's basically, sorry, a lot of, reference there. And you can see here, you can open drawers, close drawers, open cupboards, drawers and all that stuff, read itinerary. And you can see here, this is the worldwide table. And this is basically, Katie's departure was the 7/6/94, which I assume it might have been either 7th of June, or if it was, I assume it was 6th of July because of the American date, because American dates are, month first and then date later. And as you can see, Friday 1/12/10 Amsterdam, and then it shows you all like the different places she's tracking around to. So she is pretty much her itinerary for what she's going around throughout the year. And you can see as well like the creaking noises. It's like, okay, that's kind of spooky. Is someone around? Or it just feels very spooky as well. As you can see, play messages as well.
Sam. Sam. Hello. Sam.
Like, who's that now? Do you know who that is actually?
Sam, where are you? Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe.
I'll just stop it there because that's just the one you hear at the start of the game as well. And you'd be wondering, who's that crying? Who's that quite weeping and being emotional though? And you find out, and what's she have to do with Sam now? And of course, like I say, you find out through the journal entries and like other stuff throughout the game, and you find out who that person is and things like that now. But you can see, you can walk through the game here, like you see, like here's the picture of the Greenbriers as well. You can see like the painting there. Go through the door here, turn the lights on to actually see where you're going and things like that. As you can see, it's not a lot of stuff as well. Like, hey, there's one of the postcards. It's one of the little things as well. Sometimes you see little things she interacts with, and you say, oh hey, it's another postcard I sent, or especially if you see certain things that like kind of maybe make you discuss it, like, ugh, Dad, like that's one of the things, like a little maybe spoiler, but you actually see you find a condom in his drawer, and you go and he says in the text like, oh Dad, it's kind of like, ugh, like she's kind of disgusted as well. Big note. This is basically a note for the new student, Sam. And you can see like pretty much bring your thing, all the stuff there.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House Girl. Great.
Again, you wonder why is it referred to as the Psycho House Girl? That's another sort of story you'll find out as well along these lines. As you progress through the game, you find these various other notes as well concerning a relative of the Greenbriers. I think it's Oscar Mason, the Sam, and then you find out his sort of story as well if you look through if you find out some of the stuff though. Like the thing is though, you can pretty much go through this game not getting everything there is first time through. You can actually sort of miss journal entries. There's certain ones you have to get now in order to progress with the game, but there's other ones you can actually miss. So certain other little stories you can miss without such a though. And I did finish the game though, and there was a few journal entries I missed though, and I don't know how I missed them completely because I went back to them and got the rest. Like, how the hell did I miss that? I was looking around there and just completely missed it though. So hey, This is one of the postcards I sent. It's in Paris, and you can see here, like she said that back in, this is August, I believe, yeah, August of, you know, 94. It says, "Hi Mom and Dad, Sam, I'm in Paris. I've done many Parisian things, including eating le petit déjeuner, and wearing a beret. I'm going to have lots of film to develop when I get back. Sam, I'm bringing you back something from the Shakespeare Book Company, since you are my favourite sister. Love you all, Katie." And then it shows you the address there in 1 Arbor Hill, Boone County, Oregon, 97141 USA. This is weird, because that's the new book. She hasn't been there yet. See, open the drawer again. See a lot of things here. Grab back of cards. You can see pretty much a lot of stuff you can interact with. You see sort of a lot of repeat objects though throughout though, but it's cool, like the attention to detail. And this is it here, the obituary. Oscar, Doc, Masson, or Mason. This is the relative, Terence Greenbrier. Because I'm not going to write it here now. Terence Greenbrier is his nephew, and that is your father. Grab photo. You can see. You might know, like, who's this girl here? You don't have any idea who that is at the moment though. She's wearing an army uniform. And you close the door. And you open the door. A lot of good things I have to say. It's really cool game. Like, I personally loved it though. Like, I found the story quite riveting. Just fun to see what happened though with the journal entries. It was quite lovely though. Some people are not going to say, "Oh, this is a stupid story" or whatever though. But I personally really enjoyed it. I think the writing's kind of fantastic, and also, like the music with us there is like kind of, you know, sort of hauntingly beautiful and that there, and it's a very enjoyable game. It's like some people say it's not really a game though. It is a game in respect. It's more of a kind of narrative, story-driven kind of exploration game though. Like, there's certain games out there that are more focused on the story. It's more story-driven than anything, rather than sort of like gameplay per se. Like games like To the Moon and you know, Dear Esther and certain ones like that. They're like, Dear Esther's like more of a sort of first-person exploration game. This is kind of the same thing. There's nothing. You don't fight any monsters. You don't do any puzzles or anything like that now in this game. It's just basically searching around this house, seeing what the hell's going on, where the hell is everyone, and then just pretty much trying to unravel the pieces and, you know, figure out why that is. As you can see here, there's a lot of stuff here as well. A lot of, you know, post-it notes and things, and highlighters or markers. And you can see here, examine paper. This is a little thing. It says Jack Earl is a master of none. It's basically a little, I think it's supposed to be a review or show or description of a Laserdisc compact disc player. $1,000. So it's a combo. Though it's like, heck, Laserdisc, jeez, like that goes to show how far back in the day that is. It was Laserdiscs. This is before the era of DVDs. It was just like compact discs, laser discs, and then DVDs came along, and then eventually Blu-rays came along, and a lot of people just stream their movies online. This is a very different era back then in the 1990s, and that's one of the reasons why I love this game as well. Just it really just brought me back to growing up in the 90s though, because I was born in 1985, therefore in the 90s is sort of when I sort of grew up though. And I was like one of the, like, you know, eras, just like one of those defending eras. Like, a lot of stuff came out, a lot of big events happened though, and it just and like that's like I had friends and all that there. There's some great friends back then. See, putting the binder up there. And you see, like, whenever you see, when I get later onto the game, I'm not going to show it to you though, but there's certain other things you're seeing throughout the game. Like, oh man, that brings me back. Growing up playing games on the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive and things like that. So, oh man, it's just awesome. And you can see it's a combination here. I don't know what it is, but if you do look around properly, then you'll find out what the combination is and what's in there. It's this thing indeed. See, it's not all the stuff, not all the things you open now is going to have something sort of meaningful though, but you could see it'd be interesting indeed. Benjamin Allman, The Killing of JFK, a theory. You've never seen the movie, discover the truth. There's a little book here though, and you'd be wondering what the hell why is that lying about? Well, it's a telephone directory, all books and lights. You can switch the fan on. It moves around. Just little detailed nuances like that. Just something great about it though. After the thing. I know this game won't be for everyone now. Like I could dig that though. Like this is not gonna be like there's games that, like some people did think, oh, this is pretty good though, but it just didn't touch me as the way it did like some other people did though, and you know I didn't get that nostalgic feeling or whatnot though. Like it's gonna cater to some people and not to others, and that's pretty much why that's certain games I like though. But there's people out there who say this game sucks, so blah 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 blah, and like it's their opinion though, and things like that. Say it's true stories of teenage drag being fresh. You see these little wee magazine covers as well, like 90210. Like that's Beverly Hills 90210. That was a big show back in the 90s though. And you see like cassette tapes and things like that elsewhere. Like I'll just show you around here as well. Just go into the there's a room in here, the TV room, you could see. Severe weather warning, resting reason, which is pretty much in there because you're in Oregon. You can turn it off, and then you can see down here, it's like, hey, X-Files Season 1, episodes 18 to 21. You probably can't see it in there, but it's like, hey, jeez. Like, that's, like, you know, like you have Netflix and that nowadays, but this is the way things turned out back then, like all cassette tapes, because that's what people did back then, and I'm one of those ones who did as well. I taped films on the record from TV on the cassette tapes, videotapes, and watched them as well, and watched put TV shows I grew up watching as well on there, and we did wrestling pay-per-views and like that there as well during the late 90s as well. It's like, man, it's just fascinating. Here's another thing. Making friends.
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk, but sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform, and she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
So you may be wondering, that's probably who that girl is then in the photo. It's someone that she wants to get to know here. And then you do find out who it is though. Right though, but I'm not gonna say anything more though. Like I just really do love, like, here's like TV listing for example, like old shows like Family Matters, Unsolved Mysteries. Granted, this is based in US now, but I could definitely know coming from where they're coming from anyway though, because it's pretty much like that throughout the world back, and like especially here like in Northern Ireland and the UK as well. Like, hey, Friday you watch, hey, there's a show I like to watch on, like, the X-Files and things like that. Like there's certain shows I watched here when we were on, kids shows, and some more grown-up shows like Father Ted and shows like that, and that shows in Nickelodeon like Keen and Kel and Hey Arnold, Rugrats, Doug, all those shows I used to like watch during when I grew up as well, and had like some shows recorded and things like that. It's just a very different time back then though, and that's one of the reasons why I just love this game, because it just brought me back to those days and kind of, just long for those days again pretty much in a way though, which is kind of sad to say, but it is the truth though, because like some people feel that way. It's like when you grew up though, like some people just can't wait to grow up. They're just wishing, I just wish I was older now rather than having to be like it. But when you actually do grow up and when you actually are older, you do. Some people do feel just do long for those days of when they were young though, and they had not a care in the world, and they were younger and just like had no, bills to pay and didn't have a job and things like that. I was like, hey, I just went to school. I had the summer off, several months off, and you had all the free time in the world to play games and hang out with your friends and things like that there. And it was just a very different time though. So it was. You can see here more, stuff, just erasers, pencils, notes, books, everything. Most stuff is just interactive. It's just weird as hell, and like there's crumpled up notes as well. And you can see here as well, like this is something ripped as well, and it's pretty weird. Like you see these stuff throughout the house, so it's kind of messy though. You just feel like, heck, it feels like you've been burgled or something because it looks kind of messy though. But then you do figure out why that is. So it's because it's looked like, what the hell happened here? You open the door here. Let's say this is like kind of a, what's this here? Is it bar or something here? Also, like the thing is here, like if you see this, like there's journals. So there is, which every time you can unlock one, you can listen to them again though. There's the map, which opens up every time you access a new room. Just a sort of bare bones map. And items, ones you pick up as well. There's your passport, there's your sort of, your boarding pass there's my boarding pass back from my year in Europe, and the key I found on the front. And there's other few things you pick up as well to, interact as well. And there's another thing as well, actually. I'll just play this here now.
Somehow I always knew that someday we'd be through. Now that it's happened, I just can't believe it's true. I've done the best I could to keep from feeling blue.
See, that's the thing as well, you actually can, like, there's certain music stuff around, so it's not records, so you see cassette tapes as well, and tape players, like, nearby, and then you put them in, you hear a song as well. It's like, it's kind of cool to interact the way that is there as well. Like, there's another thing as well, like, there's another letter. She's just here, John. Thank you for having Danny over to your new home. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I again gave him my permission. He needs to spend less time with those games anyway. No hurry returning. Let Samantha know that she is welcome back to our house to visit anytime. Sincerely, Mary Skults, I assume it is.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend. And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
You can see a box here full of things. It's like Terrence L. Greenbrier, the accidental savior. He's like, okay, what's this about? And you find out, oh, he's a writer. And he wrote a few books, so and then you find out what's that story behind it now, and then behind the mother's job, and Sam, of course, as well. So I think that'll do. I just don't want to go through any more though, because if I just go through any more, it kind of spoils certain things about the game though. I just think it's a game you should check out though for yourself though, and again, it's not gonna appeal to everyone now. I get that though, but for me it certainly did though. I just personally absolutely love playing this game back on Sunday there, and just I'm going to play the game there with the developer commentary as well, because they unlock the developer commentary mode where there's certain things around the house you can actually access, and then you hear like the commentary from the developer show, and it's like about an hour, it's like an hour and a half apparently though, which is pretty cool, and I look forward to trying that out in the foreseeable future. But anyway, this has gone home, done by the Fulbright company. I hope you enjoyed this here anyway. I don't know how this runs smoothly now or whatnot now, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. So I absolutely loved this game though, and one of my favorite games this year. Just really brought back that nostalgia growing up in the 1990s, even though like the characters in this game are older than I was back then. Like this is 1985. I was just June 1985. I was just over 10 years old but I can still get some of the things. So anyway, you know, sitting in Nintendo, watching TV shows, recording them though, I could get those stuff. That's just, you know, hanging out with friends and things like that. Yeah, pretty much I know that stuff because I did that back here in the 90s as well, and that's why I personally love this game amongst most other things, like the story, the writing, the attention to detail, and that wee thing. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm just gonna quit this now, and I will see you all tomorrow perhaps with sort of talk, like a topic video or whatnot. So till then guys, take care, and I'll see you all later. Bye.